君の水蔵を食べたい by Sumino Yoru Part 17. How mature. You want some gum? Not really. Could you hold the dustbin for me? Leave it to me. He was flaky and always skipped out on cleaning duty. I thought he'd turn me down, but contrary to expectations, he helpfully held onto the dustbin for me. Perhaps he didn't understand the concept of cleaning up time, and had someone taught him, he'd have been willing to do it properly. He didn't pursue the matter any further than that. This was the first incident that happened within those 2 days that I found to be irregular. Having a conversation with a classmate wasn't that unpleasant, but while the next irregularity was trivial, it had put me into somewhat of a melancholic mood. The bookmark that should have been sandwiched within my paper bag had gone missing. Though I fortunately remember the scene I had read up to, it wasn't something that was distributed for free at bookshops and the like. It was something made of thin plastic that I had bought when I went to the museum previously. I didn't know when it had gone missing, but in any case, even though I wasn't the least bit bitter that my own carelessness was the root cause, I felt down for the first time in a while. However, despite feeling down about something that was ultimately superficial, those 2 days were normal for me, and since the norm for me was tranquility, that meant I hadn't been haunted by the girl who was close to death. The beginning of regularities and began on Wednesday night. I was enjoying the last of normalcy when I received a single message. No matter how much I hoped and wished, nothing could change the fact that at that time I hadn't noticed the signs of abnormality beginning. It was probably because I was a character, even in novels. The only ones that knew the setting of the first chapter were the readers. The characters themselves don't know a single thing. The message's content were as such. Good job with the tests! We're getting a day off from the tests tomorrow, aren't we? Smiley face. To get right to the point, will you be free? You'll be free anyway, right? I'm thinking of going on a trip on a train. Peace signed. Anywhere you want to go? Her making assumptions about people's circumstances sort of ruined my mood. But she had hit the bullseye when she said I was free, and I didn't have any reason to turn her down, so I replied, I'm fine with going anywhere you want to go before you die. Of course, this would later come back to bite me in the neck. I simply should have known better than to leave the decision-making to her. And so, the message specifying the place and time soon followed. The rendezvous point was a large and prominent train station within the prefecture, and the time was peculiarly early, but I wrote it off as just another one of her many whims. I replied with a message containing just 2 characters, and she responded with the last message I received that day. You absolutely can't break this promise, okay? No matter how much we oppose each other, I fundamentally never broke promises, so I replied with a final, alright, and left my cell phone on my desk. As a spoiler, the word promise was the crux of the girl's trick. Actually, perhaps it was only I who had interpreted it as a trick. I thought that the promise she mentioned referred to our outing tomorrow. I was wrong. Her promise referred to my slip of the tongue. I'm fine with going anywhere you want to go before you die. The next day, I headed to our meeting place early in the morning and found her already waiting there. She was carrying a sky blue backpack that she usually didn't bring along, and wearing a straw hat that she usually didn't put on. She looked as though she were leaving on a journey. Before we even exchanged greetings, she expressed her shock at my appearance. You dress too lightly. Is that all you're carrying? What about your change of clothes? Change of clothes? Well, I guess you can just buy some over there. Seems like there'll be a Uniqlo. Over there? Uniqlo? That was the first time I felt signs of unease in my heart. Treating my misgivings and questions like wind to her ears, she looked at her watch and responded with the question, "Have you eaten breakfast?" It wasn't very filling, but I had bread. "I haven't eaten. Is it fine if we get something?" I thought that there wasn't any particular issue with that, so I assented. She grinned and started to head towards her destination in large strides. I had assumed that we were headed to a convenience store, but we arrived at a bento store instead. Huh? You're getting a railway bento? Yeah, it's for eating on the Shinkansen. Are you getting one too? Wait. I grabbed the upper arm of the girl that was happily admiring the bentos lineup on the display and pulled her away from the cashier. The granny at the register had been smiling pleasantly as she glanced at the girl, but when their eyes met a second time, the girl wore a shocked expression, giving the granny a shock too. That should be my expression. What's wrong? Shinkansen? Railway bento? Explain properly. What exactly are we doing today? Like I said, we're going on a trip on the train. So by train, you meant the Shinkansen. And when you say trip, just how far do you mean for us to go? After making a face that said she finally remembered something, she plunged her hand into her pocket and took out two rectangular pieces of paper. I immediately recognized that they were tickets. She passed me one, and after taking a look at it, my eyes spread wide open. Is this a joke? She chortled. It seemed like she was serious. It says we're not going somewhere for a day trip, so it seems like we can still rethink this. No, get along, Kun. You got it wrong. What a relief. So it really was a joke. That's not it. We're not going for just a day trip. Uh-huh. The futility of the entire exercise aside, our conversation from this point on flowed in such a way that I ended up overpowered. For the sake of convenience, a large part of it has been omitted. She asserted herself, and while I tried to persuade her otherwise, she played her trump card, yesterday's messages. Thus, exploited was my intention to never break a promise. Before I realized it, I was already riding on the Shinkansen. While staring at the flowing scenery from the window seat, I was lost on whether I should accept being thrust into the present situation. Beside me, the girl was enjoying her mixed rice. This is my first time going on a trip like this. Get along good. Have you done anything like this before? Nope. You can relax, since I've properly prepared travel magazine for today. Ah, is that so? Even read boats should have a limit somewhere. I frowned at myself. Hi guys, that is the end of our video today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you do like it, don't forget to click that like button so I can feel the love from you. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can click that subscribe button as well and ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever I uploaded a new video. Well, I guess that's it for today. Stay safe everyone, and see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye!